Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger moment, Jeremy, a bloody gimp's escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use little help with this.
Eu tava ouvindo isso enquanto eu fazia xixi e ia pegar uma comidinha. E eu lembrei, mano, o cara falando de Jesus e os caralho, e sai uns BDSM do armário dele.
I'm sorry, darling, I was saying the matters.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in his box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. Look, back in your gimp space.
And whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people
Darling,
of this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply went to naughty boy.
Clive, I am not having this again.
Mummy, so get back in your gimp space. No, naughty, you beast.
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary and menacing a swan. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Tit Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Tit Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalization, as you can imagine. And obviously, quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Tit Tony! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez. Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here.
O
Big Chris,
era a campainha do
Chris,
apartamento dele.
and Vampire Chris.
Meu Deus.
This one's, yeah?
One sec, love. Tit on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. It's just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
It's open!
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
You are joking. Chrissy Free got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
The little boy.
I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Jesus!
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal here, Tony.
Fuck you. Bolita!
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes? Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, I managed to glean a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be...
A gente vê esse comercial depois.
Fact. A team of
Agora eu quero ver onde foi que eu perdi a audiência, mano. Eu perdi a audiência quando eu virei a câmera pra eles indo pro estúdio dançar. E eu fiquei muito triste, porque eu achei que era pra mostrar isso. Aqui, ó.
I'm going to have a little chat with
Aqui,
your
ó.
teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it.
Eu não tava prestando atenção no que a moça tava falando e a audiência caiu aqui, mano. Que triste.
So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grants?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now,
Nesse momento eu tava desesperada procurando o erro.
but his secretary
Até que eu reparei que era nas câmeras.
and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Tudo bem. Nossa, mano, essa apresentação, essa dança... Pelo menos eu mandei bem ali na troca de câmera, hein? Mano.
Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Pegou o finalzinho do And Cut.
I'm Alan James. Alan James is right. Alan James is right. I'm Alan James. Alan James is right in front of you. I don't
Eu sempre vou colocar a fita do Alan James.
scare you, but you should be scared. There must be something in the food! I don't want to upset you, but you should weep for the world. They're gonna take your poor sweet grandma. And I don't mean to shock you, but you need to wake up! I'm Alan James, and I'll slap you so hard with the truth, you'll still be picking facts out of your face the following Wednesday. Alan James.
Alan James!
Check local press for dates and times.
Ah não, Gabi, ele é tipo o maluco das conspirações. Pelo menos ele não falou que a Terra é plana. Sabe? O Alan James tem noção do ridículo. As fake news que ele espalha são menos problemáticas um pouco. Eu quero muito... Eu não lembro se é esse. Peraí, eu vou escolher um. A gente pode ver o backstage das gravações. Peraí. A gente vai ver o Alan James também, mas...
Bullshit, you will. She's good. You know she is.
I've said a bit of
Oh.
wording, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. His little JD scared of the big bad culture with butter.
If that sticks,
Bring it. 5, 4, 3.
Pera.
That's what they are calling a...
Mutei ele, tô ouvindo esse áudio aqui. A gente vai poder ver o que aconteceu em cada câmera, chat. Fora da tela, tipo...
Yes, I've got you.
O cara tá falando.
What are you doing? Give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh,
Mentioned your affairs.
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us.
E agora?
Next, I'm joined by police.
I cannot believe you, Ellen. I would have expected this from your sister, but not from you.
When are you going to realise I'm not her, Greg?
Well, trust me, between the drinking and the arse, I'm very aware.
Ele traía a mina dele com a irmã! Caralho!
Or cock.
Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man.
Ah, aqui eu já tava vendo ele, beleza.
Who are responsible.
Good white. Story, but we don't.
And the police's position on morality for us. And finally tonight.
Look, I spoke to Mallory at the Bridge Club.
No, naughty boy!
She says the hall is absolutely fine for Sunday.
Oh, marvellous. Now, I booked your mother in for a hearing test.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. Now, how's your IBS been?
Mano, que incrível. Calma aí. Os convidados entram. Aham. Punheteiros! Los sacudos! Tá bom. Agora eu quero a entrevista com a Alan James. Ah, não. Ai, com a... Ah, não, mano. Los sacudos.
All that, and Megan Wolf with a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Seconds back, everybody. Can we get the guests in quickly, please?
We actually had to make the book indestructible because people tried to set it on fire too much. It's like
Thanks for
they were having
coming
these bonfires
Thanks
in
for
town
having me.
centres. But Alan James, no doubt you've read my stuff.
I try not to, if I'm honest.
Behave.
You're not the boss of
I
me.
literally am. 10 seconds, everybody.
Ah, essa loira é chefe dele.
We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Não é chefe, mas ela falou que manda nele. Ela deve ser alguma superior. Vamos ver. Nossa,
In the wake of the
estourando.
government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide.
Ele falou que ela é uma economista. Peraí, eu vou voltar porque eu quero ver o que ela tinha falado.
Performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Back, everybody. Can we get the guests in quickly, please?
We actually had to make the book indestructible because people tried to set it on fire too much. It's like
Thanks for
they were having
coming
these
on.
bonfires
Thanks
in
for
town
having me.
centres. But Alan James, no doubt you've read my stuff.
I try not to, if I'm honest.
Behave.
Ah, não é a loira. A Jenny é que tá por trás das câmeras. Ela fala, se comporta.
You're not the boss of
I
me.
literally
Ele fala, você não manda em mim. Ela fala, eu literalmente mando em você.
am. 10 seconds, everybody.
Na real, ele fala, você não é a chefe aqui. Ela fala, eu literalmente sou a chefe aqui. Então é meio que isso o diálogo. Entendi.
Everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Nossa senhora,
In the
que
wake of the
estourada.
government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds.
Tá, aí a conversa deles. Aham.
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've...
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Oh, shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand it for you.
Nossa!
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
Caralho, Alan James, tadinho. Tá, e tem o dos atores lá. Mas não sei o que os atores, né? É. Alan James. Essa é a sala da pré-edição.
Well, where is he? In his dressing room, probably banging his head against the wall.
Look, it's all right. I've got this.
I'm sure he's on his way.
Come on, it's welcome back. How hard can it be?
This is on you.
10 seconds, everybody.
Welcome back, Megan Wolf.
We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College, who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest.
I'm the older, more popular one.
Nossa, que filha da puta.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So,
Tá, beleza.
Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Eles se arrumando. Eu não vou mais colocar propaganda do ursinho, do Senhor Aconcheguinho, mano. Pelo amor de Deus, o Senhor Aconcheguinho me deixou com medo, mano. O Senhor Aconcheguinho me deixou preocupada. Eu não sei vocês, mas o Senhor Aconcheguinho me deixou preocupada. O Neo maluco é muito melhor. Tadinha das crianças. Mano, vou ficar incentivando gente a comprar aquele boneco maluco? Dia 8. A gente foi pro dia 15. Uma noite longa. Você chega em casa após um longo dia de trabalho e encontra um bilhete no balcão da cozinha. Você reconhece a caligrafia apressada da Sam. O Chris foi despejado por não pagar o aluguel. Você já consegue ver onde isso vai parar. Nossa, isso vai parar, mano, em eu indo no banheiro. Eu já volto. Talvez dessa vez eu demore mais do que na anterior, hein? Não estou insinuando nada. É o evacuas? Se pesou? Não, porque eu esqueci de me pesar antes. Aí me pesar depois não ia ser tão impactante. Eu faço isso da próxima vez. Vamos lá, você chega em casa após um longo dia de trabalho e encontra um bilhete no balcão da cozinha. Você reconhece a caligrafia apressada da Sam. O Chris foi despejado por não pagar o aluguel. Você já consegue ver onde isso vai parar. Sam foi tirar as coisas do Chris do meio da rua. Não me espere acordado. Sublinhado 2 vezes. Então agora a culpa é sua? Você aperta o play do controle remoto com raiva para assistir o filme de horror que tinham combinado de assistir juntos. Este filme costumava aterrorizar vocês quando crianças, mas hoje em dia vocês só conseguem rir. Não é a mesma coisa sem a Sam, mas você ainda dá umas risadas. Nem fudendo que a Sam vai me culpar porque eu não dei o meu passaporte pro cara fugir daqui. Bem na hora em que chega a parte boa do filme, quando a Candy decide investigar a cena sozinha, seu filho de 14 anos interrompe. Ele quer ir para casa de um amigo. Ele te olha daquela maneira que só uma criança faz, pedindo e ao mesmo tempo te desafiando. Você o deixa ir contanto que ele prometa estar de volta em casa até as 23, ou você diz não para o Charlie, ele sabe que não deve sair em dias de semana. Ah, vai, se ele voltar até as 11, tudo bem. Claramente surpreso, ele praticamente corre porta fora. Você cochila em frente à TV esperando ele voltar. Você acorda com o som da estática do canal da TV. Já passou da meia-noite e Charlie ainda não voltou. Sam também não. É dia de semana, amanhã tem aula e ele prometeu. Então você vai até a casa do amigo e manda ele voltar pra casa. Eu vou pra lá. Ao chegar na casa do amigo dele, você vê seu filho, que milagrosamente percebe o horário quando te vê. Ele pode achar que você nasceu ontem, mas ele pelo menos pede desculpas. Já é alguma coisa. Você reconhece aquele olhar atrevido e ousado, mas você não consegue fazer nada além de deixar essa vez passar. Ufa, ele tava bem. Tá tudo certo. Dia 48, caralho. É impossível não sorrir. Peraí que eu vou tomar uma água. É impossível não sorrir quando você olha a mesa. A neve acumulada na grama lá fora, as crianças gargalhando conforme sua velha mãe tenta se manter acordada. Você sempre gostou do Natal. Agora é você quem se senta à cabeceira da mesa, o lugar de seu pai. Foi uma tarde tensa, todo mundo sentiu isso. É a primeira vez que você vê o Chris desde que se recusou a emprestar seu passaporte. Foi uma grande mudança para Sam. Os dois irmãos costumavam ser inseparáveis. O Natal costuma ser uma época legal. Só se escuta o barulho dos talheres enquanto Chris olha pra você sem parar. Posso falar, tá gostando do Natal, vovó? Fazer um brinde, permanecer em silêncio. Vou falar com a vovó. Sua mãe olha pra você com um olhar vago, confusa. Ela recobra um pouquinho de lucidez. Sim, obrigada, Alex. Está maravilhoso, ela murmura. Isso anda acontecendo cada vez mais frequentemente. Ih, a véia tá ficando gaga. Só se escuta o barulho dos talheres enquanto Chris olha pra você sem parar. Eu vou permanecer em silêncio, não vou fazer brinde, não. Chris vira a quarta taça de vinho, um pouco agressivamente. Está vendo, Sam? Ele não consegue nem olhar pra mim depois do que fez. Confusa, sua filha pergunta. Do que você tá falando? O que o papai fez? Aguenta aí. Sam tenta intervir e diz, não vamos falar disso agora. Mas Chris continua mesmo assim. Não, eu acho que ela deveria saber. Sabe, Suzy, o Alex? E eu posso falar, obrigado, Chris, já foi bastante. Ou pare de falar agora. Eu falo, obrigado, Chris, já foi bastante. Chris se vira e desconta sua frustração num pedaço do frango assado barato que você comprou. Sua filha Suzy aproveita o momento pra te encurralar. Pai, você me ama muito, né? Você ri, já conhece esse discurso. Eu não vou gostar do que você vai dizer, né? Você brinca. Suzy olha pro teto. Você sabe que meus amigos e eu estamos planejando uma viagem esse ano, né? Ela começa inocentemente. Bom, eu estava pensando se você não podia me ajudar com um pouco de dinheiro. Ela é interrompida por Chris, que dá uma risada de escárnio. Eu não teria esperança, Suzy. O Alex não é conhecido pela generosidade dele, não é mesmo? Chris, faz um favor pra todo mundo e cala a boca, ou ignorando Chris, você sorri pra sua filha. Eu vou sorrir pra ela, mas eu não tenho dinheiro. Nós vamos ver muitos países e aprender sobre tantas culturas diferentes, Suzy diz animadamente. Você suspira e fala suavemente. Você sabe que estamos numa situação bastante apertada agora que a vovó está morando aqui. Não temos tanto dinheiro assim pra gastar, Suzy. Mas pai, por favor, os pais da Harriet vão ajudá-la. Desculpa, eu realmente gostaria que a gente pudesse bancar isso, mas não dá? Ou tá bom, tudo bem, vamos encontrar uma maneira. Não, não vai dar, não tem como bancar isso. O quê? Não, você prometeu! Sua filha grita. Ela olha no rosto de ambos os pais e abre a boca pra dizer algo. Em vez disso, ela grita com frustração e coloca o rosto contra as mãos. Chris começa a aplaudir. E o prêmio de pai do ano vai para... Diz Chris, imitando um rufar de tambores na mesa. Você olha pra Sam esperando algum apoio dela, mas não recebe nenhum. Não liga, Suzy, continua Chris. O Alex não tem tempo pra família, não é mesmo? Você não consegue nem falar. Patético. Chris coloca o braço ao redor de Suzy e a leva pra fora da sala. Mano, vai se fuder, eu não tenho dinheiro. Eu tô pobre e miserável, esse é meu status. Quando eu era criança e meu pai falava que a gente não tinha dinheiro pra fazer as coisas, eu ficava triste, eu ficava chateada, mas eu não fazia essa cena, não. Vai se fuder, criança ingrata do caralho. Tô botando comida na tua mesa, piranha. A Sam segue, sem nem olhar pra você. Charlie se sente constrangido e pede licença. Você começa a tirar a mesa em silêncio. Você gostou do seu aniversário, Patrick? Sua mãe pergunta alegremente. Feliz Natal do caralho. Ai, que Natal bom. É verdade, ela tem 19 anos. Vai trabalhar, caralho. Outono bem-vindo. Você está conferindo a pilha de correspondência acumulada. Cada conta nova te faz engolir seco, até que uma carta azul te fez parar. Ao reconhecer o logo azulado do Advance, você abre a carta imediatamente. Prezada família Winston, agradecemos vocês nos enviarem seus passaportes para aprovação. Confirmamos o recebimento e a validação para o novo sistema de redistribuição de bens e riquezas. Com sorte, isso terá valido discutir todos os dias com a Sam no último mês. É com prazer que estamos enviando um cheque que esperamos ser visto como um símbolo não apenas da gratidão, mas de seu compromisso resoluto de criar uma sociedade livre de desigualdade. O corte de papel causado na pressa de abrir o envelope é a única coisa que faz você ter certeza de que está acordado. Um cheque, e de valor considerável. Chris estava certo, o Advance está realmente redistribuindo a riqueza. Vamos continuar lutando pelo melhor de nossa nação e nosso povo. Adiante juntos, Julia Salisbury e Peter Clement. O peso de seus problemas financeiros cai drasticamente. Que bênção. Riqueza atual, pobre e miserável. Agora eu tô? Hora de tirar férias! Agora eu posso levar a criança para aquele lugar que ela queria ir. Um longo fim de semana, dia 72. Por que o zíper dessa porcaria de mala nunca fecha? É seu aniversário de casamento. Todos os anos você e a Sam viajam por um fim de semana. Normalmente para acampar. Afinal, o dinheiro não nasce em árvore. Faz tempo que você está esperando este momento. Finalmente um tempo sozinhos, onde poderão se esquecer dos problemas do dia a dia. Foda-se as crianças. Sem as crianças, sem trabalho, só um pouquinho de romance, paz e silêncio. Finalmente o zíper perde a luta e você traz a mala escada abaixo. A secretária eletrônica pisca na mesinha do telefone. Boa noite, Alex. Aqui é o Sr. Bozeman. Estou te ligando para te informar que você terá que trabalhar este fim de semana. O coração se despedaça. Recebemos algumas informações sobre uma tensão crescente entre a nossa nação e potências do exterior. E a equipe do National Night News vai trabalhar sem descanso para garantir o furo dessa reportagem. Não preciso dizer que espero você aqui amanhã de manhã, às 8 em ponto. Tenha uma boa noite, Alex. A surpresa se transforma em frustração e em seguida irritação. O que você vai dizer pra Sam? Sua esposa desce as escadas dançando com alegria. Ela te beija, apanha a chave do carro em cima do balcão e começa a colocar as malas no porta-malas. Ignore a mensagem, você precisa desse fim de semana ou peça as mais sinceras desculpas pra sua esposa, mas você realmente precisa trabalhar. O Bozeman é conhecido por ser pavio curto. Foda-se, vou viajar. Putz, que pena, eu não vi a mensagem. Mensagem apagada. O que foi? Surge uma voz atrás de você. Nada de importante, você responde enquanto veste o casaco e sente a adrenalina correr pelo seu corpo. Abraçando Sam pela cintura, vocês praticamente voam pela porta em direção ao carro. É melhor aproveitar os dias de folga, segunda-feira será um dia bem complicado. Eu não voltei pra pobre e miserável, né? Um pouco de ostentação, ok. Não, foda-se, não vi a mensagem. Foi mal, gente. Ah, putz, que pena. Quando chega pra trabalhar na segunda de manhã, você recebe alguns olhares de desprezo dos seus colegas exaustos. Há um recado sobre sua mesa, escrito em caneta vermelha. Estou extremamente desapontado, Winston. Valeu a pena? Valeu. Valeu pra caralho. Salvei meu casamento. Perco o emprego, mas não perco a esposa. Peraí que eu tô mastigando. Seu filho Charlie espia sobre seus ombros conforme você lê. Você sente que vencer é difícil? Você é um membro ativo da equipe? Você quer colher os frutos da cooperação? Junte-se aos determinados do Advance, hoje mesmo, adiante e juntos. Isso não se parece com o tal clube da juventude que ele falou. Charlie apanha o folheto de suas mãos e lança o formulário no lugar. Então, eu posso ir pra lá logo depois da escola e a irmã do Ben pode nos deixar em casa depois. Assim você não precisa fazer nada. Você assina a autorização para seu filho participar do grupo determinado do Advance ou você se recusa a assinar a permissão para seu filho? Vou assinar, se foda. Seu filho está nas nuvens. É muito bom vê-lo tão entusiasmado em fazer parte da comunidade de maneira verdadeiramente ativa. Isso só pode ser uma coisa boa. Foi suspeito, mas foda-se. Sociedade lucrativa. Depois de um dia de trabalho particularmente longo, você chega em casa e encontra a pilha de correspondências. Faz alguns minutos que a Sam saiu para levar o cachorro para passear. A maioria das cartas é a bobagem de sempre, mas uma letra com cada o cada vez mais conhecido logotipo da Advance e os dizeres urgente, responda imediatamente, escritos em fonte vermelha, igualmente emergencial, chama a sua atenção. Melhor acabar logo com isso. Prezada família Winston, viemos através desta informar que, visando nossa luta pela igualdade, o governo da Advance tomou mais uma medida: nacionalizar as maiores corporações privadas e redistribuir seus recursos entre os cidadãos deste grande país. O programa de títulos de sociedade garante que a riqueza criada pelo povo seja entregue ao povo. Você não se lembra de ter lido isso no panfleto. Todos os lares se tornarão sócios de duas instituições cuidadosamente selecionadas pelo Advance por seu desempenho consistentemente alto e segurança financeira. Atenção, todos os rendimentos são baseados em opinião pública e não podem ser garantidos. Favor selecionar uma das seguintes opções. Caralho, e a música que tá torando? E eu vou ter que falar perto do microfone, senão ninguém vai me ouvir, mano. Ô, música, pelo amor de Deus. Acordos do Neo Limitado. O Neo Maluco sempre tem uma oferta maluca pra você. Prazer S.A. O seu prazer é o nosso maior negócio de esportes a viagens ao mesmo tempo pra você mesmo. Não dá pra dizer prazer sem lazer. E Olhos de Quem Vê S.A. Sejam cosméticos, vestiário ou moda, nós vimos beleza em todos os nossos consumidores. Eu vou investir no Neo Maluco e vou encher de propaganda dele na televisão. O que vocês acham? Vou investir no Neo Maluco. Agradecemos sua escolha. A favor, retornar este formulário com o envelope fornecido. Você receberá um relatório sobre sua sociedade em 3 a 6 meses. Entre 3 e 6 meses. Parece que nem o próprio Advance consegue escapar da burocracia governamental. O futuro da nossa nação está nas sociedades. Adiante juntos. Julia Salisbury e Peter Clement. Quanta influência você teria? Exatamente. Opa! Ganhei um dinheiro. Tô bem de vida. Tô bem de vida. Minha riqueza atual, estou bem de vida. Ok, ok. Rebeldia de adolescente. Não, nem fudendo. Eu dei tudo que o moleque queria. Você sai de seu velho carro em silêncio. Sam bate a porta e você estremece, torcendo para que a porta não caia. Você não diz nada, não é o momento. Conforme se aproxima da recepção, você sente seu estômago embrulhar. O policial pede para você esperar. Por fim, depois do que parecia uma eternidade, sua filha é trazida por uma policial de expressão amigável. Porra, falou adolescente, mano. A mina tem 20 anos já. Ela é uma boa moça, mas se apanharmos pichando novamente, teremos que fechá-la. Você concorda com a cabeça e pede desculpas em nome da Suzy, enquanto a Sam abraça a filha em estado de choque. Conforme aperta as mãos da policial, ela fala em voz baixa. Mantenha-a longe daquele moleque e ela vai ficar bem. Dentro do carro, você tenta tocar no assunto, mas Suzy se recusa a dizer uma palavra. Depois de um tempo, você desiste de perguntar quem é o tal rapaz e apenas dirige. Horas mais tarde, você está olhando para o teto, preocupado. A cama imóvel é o único sinal de que Sam também está acordada. Com quem Suzy tá andando? Por que ela tá agindo assim? Essa noite nenhum de vocês conseguirá dormir. A mina ficou assim só porque eu não quis bancar uma viagem, porra? Vai se fuder. Agora que eu tô bem de vida, posso te bancar uma viagem, mas antes não tinha como. Eu tava pobre e miserável, mano. Dia 153, a tempestade. Nossa, a tempestade não. Nossa, olha como tá lá fora.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information codes from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other two, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. The great show, total pimp. God, that
Ô, porra. Acabei de ver que ele tá mandando checar a energia.
Apparently he has a complicated relationship with his fate.
No. Sorry, are you saying he chose his imaginary friend in the sky over you?
don't know why I talk to you.
You're probably just
Examine sua próstata, esse tem que ter também.
Everybody, like I said, all of you.
Did your personality accidentally slip out?
Pricks. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
Critics have been quick to dismiss the graffiti as a publicity stunt, or an act of frustration by a tiny, disorganized group of those who will never, under any circumstances, be content.
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg-Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together,
Eu não sei o que eu tô
hopes are
selecionando.
still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
Without enough engineers to successfully fix their craft, the team seem likely to attempt to farm the cavern's ecosystem while they wait for rescue from above ground. I think I'll stick to risotto, Jeremy.
Eu devia ter pichado o
Bearing their
banco.
opinions,
Eu me
the
arrependi.
formerly rich are fighting back with a naked protest.
Our very own Robin Short was on hand earlier today when this new protest group first presented themselves.
It might seem amusing to us, but clearly this formerly overprivileged section of our society is not adjusting well to the new future. It's often too easy to forget that not every citizen is thriving under advance.
Fallen angel? Notorious addict Johnny Hansleeve seems to have reached a new low in his battle with booze, as this recent picture reveals.
Johnny's star certainly lacks its former glow these days, with public concern over his mental and physical health growing at an alarming rate.
Let's hope that the team at the Gentle Touches Rehabilitation Centre can help Johnny get back to his former glory. Johnny's family have asked for privacy during this difficult time. We'll have reporters at the clinic around the
Era só uma explorada no cu do Dante, hein?
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today, though its critics are sceptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
When only a Flard will do, you need the Flardmaster 5000.
Que é isso?
That's the slogan accompanying the announcement that has rocked the construction industry this morning. The breakthrough device for aiding in installation is sure to change the way we see the humble Flard.
With that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later,
and our very own Patrick Bannon coming to you live from the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
Nossa, eu cortei antes, eu acho. Não sei. Nossa senhora, tá dando interferência da chuva. Tá dando interferência da chuva! Interferência da chuva! Interferência da chuva! Interferência da chuva! Ufa.
First tonight, after the Christmas horror caused by Mr. Snugglehugs, we have an exclusive interview with one of the victims.
Poor 7-year-old Timmy Tadlock, like so many of those affected
Eita,
by the
senhor
Christmas bloodbath,
Afeguinhos
has spent the
lá.
last 3 months undergoing a series of reconstructive facial surgeries.
Last week,
Cirurgia de reconstrução facial, o que o bicho fez? Gente, o bichinho!
He talks to us.
Before we go to the interview, however, this station would like to issue a full and frank apology for any part we may have played in the tragedy. We should never have advertised Mr. Snugglehugs.
Porra!
That our publicity, the sheer scale of this tragedy, and now upwards of 8,000 casualties.
Nossa,
might have been averted.
eu fiz propaganda do Senhor Aconcheguinhos.
We're sorry.
In future, we will do better.
Now it's
Puta
over
que
to
pariu.
Robin Short at the Tadlock family home. Robin?
Thank you, Megan. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Tadlock and their 7-year-old son, Timothy. Thanks for spending time with us today.
Yes, well, you're bloody lucky we're spending any time with you at all, after what you lot did. Irresponsible. I mean, whose idea was this anyway?
It's all right. It wasn't your fault. As you can see, Megan, there's still a few open wounds here. I'll tread carefully. I'm going to speak to Timmy now. Hello, Timmy. Can you see me?
Mummy, who's that lady?
It's the lady from television, Timothy. She's going to ask you a few questions.
You be careful now, it upsets them to remember.
Don't worry, Mr. Tadlock. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason. So, Timmy, can you tell us what happened to you? You had just unwrapped Mr. Snugglehugs, hadn't you? Was he under the tree?
Yes, I could smell him already. He smelled like love.
Ah, yes, that'll be the fur. It's scented with hoof.
I was so excited. I ran up to my room and gave him a big hug. He was so soft and warm, like our cat, before he got in the way of Daddy's Porsche.
A Porsche do
And what
papai.
did Mr. Snugglehugs say to you?
He blinked his real action eyes and said, "You're my very best friend." But I sure wish Mrs. Snugglehugs was here, and she can't be for just $89.99. And then it's a general error. 41.
And is that when he burst into flames?
Careful.
And then he exploded.
Oh, look, I've asked you nicely.
And am I right in saying that one of his real action eyes is now permanently embedded in your cheek?
Yes.
Meu Deus.
When I took him in at night, it glows through bandages.
Meu
Oh,
Deus.
it's under there, staring at me.
Yeah, some of the other children have started calling him Timmy Three Eyes. And with his glasses, that's 5.
It's too many eyes, Robin.
And what's the last thing you remember before the darkness overtook you?
He looked at me with his one eye and laughed. Laughed as he burned.
It sounds very traumatic. Do you have nightmares?
All right, that's quite
Do you?
enough of
Timmy?
you two
Timmy?
coming in here with your camera trying to make a buck out of our suffering. I have it.
Mr. Tadlock, just a couple more questions. Timmy, do you think you will ever be what we can call
No, you've had your
normal
questions.
again?
And now you've made him cry with all 3 of his eyes.
Calm down, you're scared. Do you think your parents will ever really love you again?
Caralho, que horrível!
So there you have it, Megan. Just one of the many victims of an indescribable tragedy that has shaken our nation. Back to you.
Thank you, Robin. Harrowing stuff.
And many questions to be answered by Sophia Remington in the coming days and months, I'd wager. How will she turn this crisis around?
So, Jeremy, what are the warning signs a consumer should look out for when they're spotting a dangerous toy?
Well, Megan, experts advise to always check for the new Advanced mark, which guarantee a level of safety and quality.
Yeah, can we just get a close-up on camera 3 here? So if we take a look at this National Nightly News mug, you should see the mark just on the base of it there.
In the wake of the scandal, the government were praised for their swift response in bringing in this set of stringent checks and new products.
It certainly is good to know that someone's watching out for our families. When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry, I'm bursting.
Botei o comercial, tá passando Neil.
Very good.
Who?
Megan.
Yes, she is.
Watch your back, Jeremy. Women are coming.
I'm more worried about this water dripping onto my head.
Trocou a foto. A foto tá eu e minha esposa no pôr do sol.
We're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the sports board final by
Okay.
bringing their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news.
Tá, eu não posso mostrar a periquita de ninguém. Vai ter gente pelada tentando aparecer, chat. Na tela. Eu não posso periquita de ninguém, não pode aparecer. Sem periquita. Nenhuma periquita no chat. Nem na TV. Não pode. Nenhuma periquita permitida.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with the auto cue.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
Want to see us fry? It's good for the ratings.
5,
4, 3, 2. I know.
Welcome
You
back to
see.
the National Nightly News. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan. You join me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Ellie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the Orangi hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on. And Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brains. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time. On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris.
Mano, o que tá acontecendo?
For shot number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing it under her legs. Not bad, if you ask me. Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not this start of Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends.
Tô indo bem, tô indo bem.
And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense. Striker giving it large. Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, he seems to have some sort of streaker on the pitch. I apologise if you broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arms. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult. I'm struggling to follow. Because it's quite an eyesore, and women's bodies, yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harris absolutely determined to close that massive gap.
Tá tudo bem, tá tudo bem.
Eddie Striker. No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the offensive thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound.
Mano.
Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket. I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering this play here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course. I've always said that. And after all, it is a game of 2 halves, 4 rounds and several subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington's Fist. Nice piece of music here to start the half-time show.
Eu não tô conseguindo dar play no intervalo.
We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display.
Eu tentei dar play no intervalo.
And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dancing to me there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security's on it. And the bucket's been knocked over. I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
Meu Deus, que caos, hein? Deu tudo certo.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't. Not bad. That boy's giving me the eye all day. I don't know what's going on. Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around.
Meu
Back
Deus.
to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. Am I right, ladies? Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because of course if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket. Back to striker. And striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course perhaps...
Okay.
Yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course we've seen that before.
Mano.
Look at her face. She's absolutely gutted. What a mug. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame. Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. Here we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact. Caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean, there's sort of
Meu Deus.
breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much I can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. What's going on here? Yes, yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters.
Tá
Absolute
dando tudo
wasters.
certo.
Oh, jog on!
Tá tudo certo.
Absolute bloody... Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round. Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go in there at this point. Really high-level play here from two absolute juggernauts of the sport.
Não para de chover!
The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me.
Não mostrei nenhum nude.
And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she spat it out. She did the egg spit. So I wonder
O que aconteceu? O que aconteceu?
From
O que tá acontecendo?
But she's in it to win it.
O que tava acontecendo? Ah, fiquei muito tempo na mesma tela. Será que foi isso?
Tommy Harris.
Oh, meu Deus.
Having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official. In, please.
And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship is everyone!
Okay, the ref has agreed once again a win for everyone.
Ficou muito tempo na tela, mano, mas foi porque o juiz segurou muito tempo. Oh, meu Deus. Meu Deus, eu mostrei uma bunda ali. Meu Deus, o que tá rolando?
And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon. Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all I always have to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there had an extraordinary final.
Historic sports board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shocked me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shocked me. Where's that sound guy?
Ah, eu consegui dar play no comercial.
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Nossa, mano.
Boozman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance that this storm is causing the odd power surge. Some of your controls might be a bit, dangerous. Now, I know you're tough and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast, but too many in quick succession can stop the old ticker. I'm sure you'll make the right decisions.
So sorry about all these buckets. We seem to have sprung a leak.
Tá, eu não posso tomar muito choque.
Need a whole new lining up there.
Não posso tomar choque.
We'll look into it. That's so good to see
Eu
you
não
again.
Miss Wolf, your star seems to be in the
tomar
ascendant.
It's a great time to be
choque,
alive.
velho.
Bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolf.
My, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet. Is your seat down?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
Cheeky cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers mostly.
People who have yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's tripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, Pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yeah, that's definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera?
Oh,
Pet?
sorry, yes, it's camera 4 like that.
When I was 13, me mam came and got me from school. He was to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. When I went in to see him, he were all frail and pale. I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I live with.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half-time.
That sounds...
It was awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away. And he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't.
Tá tudo bem, tá tudo bem.
Oh, she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So, even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. People who feel they run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families.
Como eu tô indo, chat?
Slow, long, humiliating decline into an
Microphone pack has just given me electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I think it's from my asshole.
We're still on the air, Peter.
Oh, yes. Sorry. My apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sacked again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, a raw shell face, fucker! That one was massive! Right, no. Come on!
Sorry, that the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of following that grandmother with a rustic twat!
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
For God's sake!
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board Final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
Good job, everybody.
Tô bem, tô viva.
So they just...
The same, sir.
Eu tô viva, né?
Anyway, this could be a good thing.
Eu tô viva, né?
Nephews have me transitioned the moment I start the leak.
Fiz a mais! Por que a sequência a mais desse? Foda-se! Fiz um a mais. Você recebeu todo o seu pagamento, riqueza atual, bem de vida. Tô viva, foda-se. Dia da tempestade. Deixa eu ver, vou carregar essa
Jeremy
fita.
and the team. There's just time for a brief look at what's coming up later tonight on Channel 1. At 6:30, it's a brief history of Sports Board, where Patrick Bannon will be taking a look at the surprising rise of this
Eu
spectacular.
vou passar bem rapidinho o programa, só pra ver o que rolou. Tá, não tão rapidinho, aqui tá bom. Apresenta, mostra os dois, mostra as marcas na parede, mostra a galera do cu do Hakim, do cu do Dante, a galera do protesto, perfeito. A galera, o cara saindo da clínica de reabilitação, tá, beleza. A mina que criou, sei lá que porra é aquela. Passou a abertura do jornal. Tá falando do senhor Aconcheguinho. Perfeito, que eu passei a propaganda daquela merda. Não devia ter passado. A porra do ursinho desgraçado. A criança que se fudeu. Por causa do senhor Aconcheguinho. Dá uma confusão aqui, eu quero ver essa confusão em primeira mão, mano. Eu quero ver a gravação dessa confusão, bicho. Tá, perfeito, perfeito. Volta pro jornal, tá rolando o jornal, bacana, legal. Aí passa o bagulho passa a propaganda do rapaz. Perfeito. Caralho, que propaganda longa, hein? Aí volta, vai estar passando esporte agora, né? Esporte, beleza, eles lutam. Eu desviei dos peitos, das bundas, desviei de todo mundo. Ó. Todas as pessoas nuas foram desviadas, ó. Nem apareceu. Ó, não tem nude, hein? Sem gente pelada, mano. Não tem gente pelada. Oh, yes. Vai, vai, aí vai. Continua, beleza. Decide quem ganhou. Cadê? Aí, vai decidir quem ganhou agora. Todo mundo ganha. Beleza, acabou. Passa aquela propaganda filha da puta lá, que eu tinha que passar. Aí tem a entrevista com o presidente. O presidente começa a tomar choque, ainda bem. Eu quero muito ver essa confusão também. Não, mandei bem, não mandei? Parece algo que vocês assistiriam na TV facilmente. Tá tudo bem, tá tudo bem. Tá falando do exame de próstata. Mandei bem. Agora eu quero ver sem edição o... que é a aceitação da Dreams. Tá, não, eu vou nos PMs no estúdio, vamos lá. Esse aqui acho que quando o presidente começa a tomar choque. Vamos ver, vamos ver.
So sorry about all these buckets. We seem to have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there.
Nossa, tá muito
Triple seal,
estourado.
I shouldn't wonder.
We'll look into it.
Minister, it's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolf, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolf.
My, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet.
Que alto, caralho!
Is your seat damp?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
Cheeky cow.
5, 4, 3.
Foda-se. Balde porque tá tendo goteira, beleza. Eu quero ver quando dá merda. Caralho, mas fala, hein?
Oh, yes, sorry, my apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this new system might be...
Oh, we're massive. Right, no, this bastard's coming off.
Sorry, that the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final
Mano,
days
que
eating
tava
gourmet
rolando?
food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of... Oh, fuck! My grandmother with a rusty twat bastard!
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board Final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
Mano, o que rolou?
So they just...
It seems so.
I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's for my nephews to have me transition the moment I start the leak.
Pera, o quê?
Good thing.
It's for my nephews to have me transition the moment It's for my nephews to have me transition the moment I start the leak. Transition the moment I start the leak. For my nephews to have me transition the moment I start the leak.
Isso vai ser bom pros meus sobrinhos que vão começar a transitar no momento que eu vazar. Vazar o quê?
It's my nephews had me transition the moment I start the leak. Nephews had me transition the moment I start the leak.
Vão acreditar o quê?
It's my nephews had me transition the moment I start the leak.
Pode acreditar que eles vão começar a transitar no momento que eu vazar. Ah, é sobre o negócio do governo. Ah, que se foda. Se foda, eu tô bem de vida. Nossa, mano. Eu acabei de ter o pensamento de...
Apparently he's been drinking since lunchtime.
Acabei de ter o pensamento de um rico. Que se foda, eu tenho dinheiro.
Christ, he's a liability in the best of times.
I know.
Então é assim que o Elon Musk resolve os problemas dele? Ele fala que se foda, eu tô bem de vida?
God help whoever has to bleep this. 10 seconds, everybody!
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3...
Welcome back.
Pera.
I'm told we can now go live.
Eu já vi isso. Eu selecionei Sportball. Por que eu tô aqui? Sportball. Jogar. É verdade, né? O Elon Musk coloca todas as coisas em um foguete pra resolver os problemas dele.
It says.
Yes, I understand that, but I always say welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with the auto cue.
10 seconds! Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
Want to see us fry? It's good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3...
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new health...
Pera, volta.
Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare...
One, to be honest, I've been on the station now for 10 years. Patrick, wasting away in the chair. But, you know, while I'm covering this bullshit, I mean, a real waste of my talents. You know, I could put a tie on, I could have put a scarf on, I could have done myself, but no, I'm
Sports board.
Patrick? That's right, Megan, you joined me live here from the final of the first half.
Se eu tivesse transferido pra câmera dele um pouco antes, ele ia estar falando mal da emissora e os caralho. Eu transferi na hora.
Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested... I think it's fair to say these two have been...
Vamos ver. Peraí. Calma aí.
Patrick Bannon there had an extraordinary...
Voltar um pouquinho. Aqui, vamos ver.
And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon. Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And like I always have to say, Jeremy, it's back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there had an extraordinary fight.
Historic Sports Board, Jeremy.
Well done, everybody. Well done. Fantastic play. Well done. Well done. Nice play. Well done.
Well done.
We laughed a bit, but I think we got through it. Well done. Well play there. Well done, mate. Yeah. Well done, mate. Nice bit of play there. Well done.
Tá, o pessoal tá comemorando. Bonitinhos.
I do just well done. Yes, it was very good. Yeah.
Perfeito.
Microphone shocked me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shocked me. Where's that sound guy?
Cadê o cara do som?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
With that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon coming to you live from the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
Where's my
30
makeup
seconds,
girl?
everybody.
Makeup!
Is it raining outside? I'm sure I felt a drip.
Just a bit. I saw a man float by on a massive boat.
Makeup! Where is that useless fucking idiot?
I don't know if she had any pets.
Yeah, 2 of each.
Makeup!
Seriously, I felt a drip.
10 seconds, everybody. Look, I'll have someone look into it. For now, try not to drown. Going in 5, 4, 3.
First tonight, after the Christmas horror caused by Mr. Snugglehugs, we have an exclusive interview with one of the victims.
Poor 7-year-old Timmy
Esse é
Tadlock,
legal pra caralho.
like so many of those affected by the Christmas bloodbath, has spent the last 3 months undergoing a series.
Esse é legal, chat. Esse vai ser bem legal. Vou avançar um pouquinho.
When we went to play croquet with the Jessers.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
in
you.
the cupboard.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Megan.
It's hung out the way.
Yes,
I'm coming.
Can we have Mr. Tadlock in, please, Richard?
Sweating.
Now it's over to Robin Short at the Tadlock family home. Robin?
Thank you, Megan. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Tadlock and their 7-year-old son, Timothy. Thanks for spending time with us today.
Yes, well, you're bloody lucky we're spending any time with you at all, after what you lot did. Irresponsible. I mean, whose idea was this anyway?
It's all right. Wasn't your fault.
As you can see, Megan, there's still a few open wounds here. I'll tread carefully. I'm going to speak to Timmy now.
Que filha da puta, mano.
Hello, Timmy. Can you see me?
Mummy, who's that lady?
It's the lady from television, Timothy. She's going to ask you a few questions.
You be careful now, it upsets him to remember.
Don't worry, Mr. Tadlock. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason. So, Timmy, can you tell us what happened to you? You had just unwrapped Mr. Snugglehugs, hadn't you? Was he under the tree?
Yes, I
Tá.
could...
Aqui é a mesma entrevista que a gente viu. É o senhor Aconcheguinho sendo...
When he burst into flames.
Careful.
And then he exploded.
Oh, look, I've asked you nicely.
And am I right in saying that one of his real action eyes is now permanently embedded in your cheek?
Yes.
Ih! O olho dele tá dentro... O olho do ursinho, daquele ursinho que faz...
I know it's under there.
Não deu pra entender nada do que eu falei. Tá na bochecha do menino.
The children have started calling him Timmy Three Eyes.
Timmy
And
Three
with his
Eyes.
glasses, that's 5.
It's too many eyes, Robin.
And what's the last thing you remember before the darkness overtook you?
He looked at me with his one eye and laughed. Laughed as he burned.
It sounds very traumatic. Do you have nightmares?
All right, that's quite
you,
enough of
Timmy?
you two coming in here with your camera trying to make a buck out of our suffering. I won't have it.
Mr. Tadlock, just a couple more questions. Timmy, do you think you will ever be what we can call
No, you've had your
normal
questions.
again?
And now look. Oh,
Você acha que algum dia você vai ser normal? Não.
Do you think your parents will ever really love you again?
Right, that's it. Enough. Come on,
I'm happy, Mr. Tadlock.
Your poster, your favourite poster.
So there you have it, Megan. Just one of the many victims of an indescribable tragedy that has shaken our nation. Back to you.
Thank you, Robin. Harrowing stuff.
My espresso here.
That's your eye. Where are we now? Oh gosh, I can't take this swallowing. I can't take it.
I think I'm blabbing
Oh,
out.
my nerves, my master, my nerves.
I need a pill and a drink.
Mano. Mano.
Always check for the...
Pera.
She's very good.
Who?
Megan.
Yes, she is.
Watch your back, Jeremy. Women are coming.
I'm more worried about this water dripping onto my head.
Tá bom. Tá. Ok, achei que a gente ia ter mais coisa. Querem ver a propaganda do Examine Sua Próstata? Examine sua próstata. passei essa.
Suffer from benign prostate enlargement?
Uhum.
Come on. I'm Tommy the Fingernail Harris, sporting legend. I've got it all. 4 world championships, 2 cars, a bidet, and an enlarged prostate gland. Your prostate is a small gland about the size of a cherry tomato, located between your penis and your wee bag. If the prostate becomes enlarged, it can put pressure on the bladder. This can cause trouble starting to pee, and it can cause laundry-based trouble between you and your she-demon of an ex-wife. So what caused this big old prostate in your bum? Well, sorry, me and the doctors, we don't know. But I can tell you, as you get older, your body changes. And that's okay. If you're worried about your swollen bum sack, book an appointment, for God's sake. Procedure is easy, it's quick, and it's not gay. I'm Tommy the Fingernail Harris. Rectums, check them.
Muito bom, muito bom, muito bom. Muito bom. Que comercial maravilhoso. Vamos continuar. Eu tô ainda empregada, mano. Dia e o isolamento. Covid?
Alex, oh thank God you're alive. It's Jenny, the floor manager. Are you okay? Alex, you need to get it together. Look at the broadcast screen. Just look at it. That's all we've been putting out since you went down. You have to fix it, now. Look left, Alex, out the window. See? They're all over it, little bastard.
Que é isso?
You're going to need a full charge to clear that many off. Hold down the big button until it's fully charged. Then release it to zap the little fuckers.
Mas quem que eu tô eletrocutando?
Not enough charge there, Alex. Hold it down until it's fully charged. Then release it. Excellent, Alex. We're broadcasting again. They must have built up while you were napping. Usually it only takes a tap on the button to clear one. Look, there's a lone one climbing now. Zap it off before it starts to mess up the signal again. Great.
Nossa, eu vou ter que ficar fazendo isso.
For now. Right. We're about a minute out. Get the adverts loaded up. I've got to deal with my pet idiot. And Alex, keep your ears open. You'll hear them climbing up the tower. Don't let them build up.
We'll be going live to the National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on.
This has no credibility, Jenny.
On Channel 1 at 7 o'clock.
No professionalism.
What's wrong with this picture?
It's not a mess. Everything is where it should be. It's ramshackle and characterful, and I expect you to know the difference. Of course, Megan's place looked lovely, but I can't see
Vídeo
it,
de treinamento de funcionários.
How's lock-in with the boyfriend going?
Seria bem bom se eu passasse esse. Eu vou fazer isso, chat. Eu espero que seja legal. O vídeo de treinamento de funcionário vai ser bom. Confia.
Jeremy, Jenny says your hair looks stupid.
Yes, I can hear her.
She says she's not talking to you.
Ah, calma. Os programas estão rolando em isolamento. A gente tá isolado por causa dos brinquedos, mano.
Okay, 10 seconds. Break a leg, everyone.
Preferably a furry one.
Ah, eu não vou fazer isso, não.
5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Snugglepups? It's been almost 5 weeks since all the Mrs. Snugglehug's toys woke up simultaneously in factories
Ah, não, o senhor aconcheguinho tomou conta.
The Mr. Snugglehugs we have so short-sightedly destroyed. And now, as this photograph suggests, they may be changing tactics.
Built to surprisingly traditional gender stereotypes, the Mrs. Snugglehugs have been arming themselves with a variety of household implements. All the more reason to make sure that cat flap is taped up good and tight.
This frightening new development means that even those previously thought to be relatively safe, like the young and fit, must take care to watch their backs and keep their ears open for the soft steps of sinister feet.
Going stir crazy? With no signs of Mrs. Snugglehug's batteries running out, and the government lockdown now in its 31st day,
31º dia de lockdown, hein?
are taking some unexpected turns.
Dramatic reports are beginning to emerge of uncharacteristically bold behaviour in homes across the country. And we're not talking about the model planes that occupy so much time in the Donaldson household.
With dating options limited, many house sharers, in particular students, are finding solace in co-tenants they'd previously rejected as unfuckable, indulging in an activity that has become known as snuggle hugging.
Locked and loaded, Shane Calligraphy Johnny Handsleeves seems to be taking his own unique approach to being locked in.
Since checking into rehab, not much has been heard from the former role model, but this latest photo leaked by another resident today seems to confirm that all might not be well at Gentle Touches.
It seems that paranoia may have overtaken the residents of the infamous rehab clinic, which this morning declared itself an independent state, claiming it had more than enough sponges to last till next Christmas.
The shape of things to come? In their own version of a lockdown for more than 45 years now, the descendants of Doctors David Wong and Ingrid Svorsborgen-Horgensvoord and their unfortunate team today managed to get a personal statement to the surface using flagellized imaging equipment.
Many of the Svorsborgen-Horgensvoord, as they've come to be known, have certainly captured the public imagination, with a recent vote naming Helvetica Svorsborgen-Wongensvoord the most likely to survive a massive electric shock.
I'm Svorsborgen-Wongensvoord here with another pointless message that no one will ever see. We've been down here so long now, and you never communicate. What's happening up there? Have you all fucked off into space? Like fucked into space? Ladies. Or just a space for ladies. It's harvest time again, like it is every third Wednesday, but harvest's not what it was. Still. Someone found a couple of unopened boxes in the rusted wreckage. Mum and Dad must have missed them when they first got down here all those years ago and totally effed up my life! Kids' toys, apparently. Mr. Snufflehugs or something? Helvetica's trying to get them switched on. Apparently there's still life in the batteries even after 30 years. You topsiders are amazing.
It's hard to believe they've been down there so long now.
But as everyone knows, time moves differently underwater, Jeremy. That's why goldfish are so stupid.
That's right. And as anyone will tell you, the deeper the bowl,
the thicker the goldfish.
There's no denying the logic of that.
Class war, a worrying turn today for the formerly rich as ever more punishing measures are announced, Alex.
With the country becoming ever more hostile to the previously wealthy, those who managed to skip the country must be very grateful to the people who help them right now.
This programme has received reports of rich relatives on the run actually being filled with helium and released into the stratosphere. If those rich bastards think they're above the rest of us, why not give them a hand in getting there, Jeremy?
And Advance speaks out. With the snuggle struggle proving a test to governments around the world, Advance HQ released a curious statement this afternoon.
In the accompanying release, they asked us to stress that they have been listening and that this should be taken as a response to how
Eu posso botar a mina ou o velho.
We've certainly done our bit on this show to contribute to the political climate. But let's not forget, how we behave in our home lives is what really matters.
Let's hope it's not just me who filled out that questionnaire, Jeremy, or we're all in trouble.
Let's play that statement.
Good evening. One of the many new jobs I have in this current crisis is to liaise on a daily basis with the Department of Perambulation, and they have made me aware of these. Now, these are genuine requests from citizens for permission to go outside. Now, I would like to share a few of these with you tonight under the loose heading of what the fuck is wrong with you people? How difficult is this to grasp? I'd like to start with James from Angerhampton, who says he needs to go out because there's a duck in the park that I like to try and feed on a Friday. I call him Mr. Quackington, and I think we're really starting to bond. No, James, they make their hives in parks. And then Katie, from Self-Righteous-on-Sea, wants to go out so she can deliver homemade meals to the elderly. No, Katie, stay at home. Your casserole's dire, and Shirley can get by with tins of creamed rice from the 1950s.
É o Bolsonaro fazendo declaração, mano, falando bosta, bosta, merda, família.
Now I want to make this as clear as I can. Think first. Stop sending me stupid, sodding requests and stay inside.
Só que ele tá mandando ficar em casa, né? O Bolsonaro nem isso.
It's all over. Thank you.
Delectable stuff.
Later tonight, Jeremy will be catching up with brave roving reporter Patrick Bannon, while I check in with two friends of the programme who find themselves stranded at opposite ends of the country.
And then, in part 3, there's going to be a quiz. Presumably because there's nothing more important going on that you might like to report on if you were saying a news programme.
And in a moment, we'll both be asking Sophia Remington how such a trusted brand can have made such a terrible manufacturing mistake.
With what it describes here as help from popular psychic scientist Delia Lywell.
Oh, I like her.
No, you don't. Why do you do that?
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Mano, o cara, velho, ele quer muito mandar alguém tomar no cu. Que é isso, mano? Tá falando Mr. Snuggle, blá blá blá.
First tonight, how did we get here? Where are we going? And most importantly, who's to blame?
Joining us from her ranch in Arlingsfield, Milkirky is the CEO of Remington's Fist, internationally respected business Bengali, Sophia Remington.
Thank you for having me, Megan. I'm a huge fan of your work.
And from a crystal healing laboratory, what I assume is a garage in Upper Lowington, inexplicably renowned psychic scientist, Dr. Delia Lywell. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Sorry, us?
Myself and the eminent professors.
Is that what you call the voices in your head?
The voice seemed to attract dead scientists. I don't really know why.
The money?
Meu Deus, a mulher tá maluca.
Through ethereal algebra and quadratic predictions. It's all very technical.
No, it isn't.
I concur. Miss Remington, the entire Snuggle Hugs range will surely go down as the biggest public relations disaster in history, won't it?
Well, of course, that's one world record we would never have sought to claim.
What can you say at a time like this?
There is only one thing that can be said. I'm sorry. We're sorry. From everyone here at Remington's Fist,
Puta
but
que pariu.
especially the dedicated inventors and world-beating engineers at Reming Toys, we are deeply, deeply sorry. Who could have predicted that letting a child's toy learn how to love could have such unforeseen consequences?
Mary Shelley?
We see you, Sophia Remington. You are preening by a metal vessel, and where you venture, you will see neither land nor sky.
Is that supposed to be the future?
Only the past is concrete. I remember being a child in my grandpa's workshop when he made the first dancing hangman toy. He put it by my bed, and when I couldn't sleep, I'd wind it up and let it go, and I'd watch that happy little executioner just wiggle and wave his tiny noose and dance before my eyes. Grandpa sold thousands of them, on the quiet, obviously. And he used the money he made to found Rimming Toys, which is now just one small part of the global supermassive megacore that is Remington's Fist. Sadly, we lost Grandpappy along the way. He died in a fire at the preschool tobacco factory, another one of his pet projects. But we never lost his spirit of invention.
Yes, I'm not entirely certain what your grandfather's offensive toys have to do with the current predicament.
The spirit of invention, Mr. Donaldson. The passion to create, to problem solve. And that is why I'm here today, to tell you about a brand new product we're launching simultaneously around the world from midnight tonight.
Eu tô fazendo muita coisa.
We hear its song on the breeze, its breath on the wind, its fart under the covers.
How does she do it?
Well, please, don't keep us in suspense any longer.
Won't be my feature she's making up next.
Remington's Fist is proud to present Snuggle Traps. Safety and security in these dangerous times.
Meu Deus, são armadilhas para capturar os ursinhos.
All guaranteed to stop a Mrs. Snugglehug in its tracks. That's enough for a small lawn or 4 window boxes. And you want to know the best thing? They're only $129.99 a box. Now that is
Só
affordable peace of
$129 uma
mind.
caixa.
We see you, Jeremy Donaldson.
Not now, honey, I missed it. The best thing about snuggle traps is they're powered by next generation Flardinium batteries. So, however long the enemy lasts, these traps will outlast them.
We see you, Mr. Donaldson. You are screaming and yelling. Your friends are
Puta que pariu.
crying. They fear you. And then you're gone.
Oh my god, I just got chills. Did anyone else just get chills then?
I think I did.
I think it's more concerned. I think I'd be more concerned about these traps. Quickly, before we go to the break, these appear to be attractively repackaged landmines. Aren't they dangerous, say, to children?
Oh, hell yeah. These are not toys. But they're explosive fun.
Sophia Rimington, Dr. Delia Lywell, thank you for joining us.
When we come back, we'll be taking a look at the situation across the country tonight.
Don't go away. We'll be back after these bandages.
Was that all right?
Oh yes, Doctor, that was exactly what we did.
She seems very nice, that young Miss Remington.
I think she'd make an interesting dinner guest.
Do you think so? I think I'd rather spend the evening shoving
Nossa, chat, eu consigo controlar a minha live, controlar uma transmissão de televisão e ainda espirrar.
I've decided to come home. Listen, I'll call you back at the next break and we can talk about how I get me job back. Cheers, Alex. See you, mate.
See ya, mate.
I used to have a ventriloquist act. I cheated, rather, because I trained a dog to talk. You can get down on all fours and yap like a dog for only $22.99.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time coming. Oh, exactly. You said it, I've said it. Stupid. I just don't want it getting back to him that it came from us. Hey, no, Jenny.
The photo of yourself you sleep with, I'm struggling with.
It's gonna work. We'll get him. I've made the cake. You're on the balloon. Got no idea how old he is. 40? 17? Yeah, ready. Okay, coming back. In 5, 4, 3... Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf. Now it's time to take a trip around the country to hear how the lockdown might impact the nation from some friendly faces. Joining me are respected academic Katie Brightman and author of Alan James's Kites, Alan James. Thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Megan.
Thanks, Megan. It really is a pleasure, Katie. I enjoyed our little heated encounter.
I wish I could say the same.
So first off, Katie, how are you coping?
I'm hot. The lockdown directive was so sudden that, like many people, I haven't been able to get home.
Oh no, what happened?
I was staying at a hotel after an international policy convention, and we had a particularly heavy night out. You know what economists are like.
Notoriously hate splitting the bill.
And I overslept, and as you can imagine, I've been here ever since. But there are certainly people much worse off than me.
Exactly. My tour has been cancelled indefinitely, and I've had to refund every single ticket, even the cheap seats.
Oh, Alan, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, people are being quite rude about it. They don't seem to realise they've already spent it filling the beach house with beef.
The crisis claims yet another victim.
So, this is just a reminder that my book, Alan James's Reich, is now in paperback.
Unbelievable.
What was that?
You're unbelievable.
So, Katie, how do you think this might affect the economy? Should we be worried?
Very, Megan. Not to sound dramatic, but this could be catastrophic. Unemployment has skyrocketed, and frankly, it will be a miracle if a lot of businesses can survive this.
There you go, scaremongering again, spreading this latest liberal hoax. That's what they want. They want us quiet. They want us compliant. And they want us inside.
A hoax? How on earth can you say that, Alan?
Well, I haven't actually seen one of these supposed toys. Have you?
Well, no, but...
Did you know 3,000 people die every year from regular toys? That's a lot of people. And this is no different. You're just as likely to be hunted down by a yo-yo or a tennis racket.
He makes an excellent and persuasive point, Katie.
Don't listen to her, Katie. The press are the enemy of truth.
She's agreeing with you, Alan, you absolute shit!
Well, then I must be wrong.
Alan, are you now recanting your statement that these toys aren't dangerous?
People are saying they're just like normal toys, and that simply isn't true. Corrupt media lies.
Meu Deus, o cara tá louco.
Do you respond to Alan's claims that Mrs. Snugglehugs might be dangerous after all?
I suppose I guess I'm agreeing with him.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate your support. A lot of folks are saying this Mrs. Snugglehug situation will all blow over, but it won't.
O cara voltou com sanduba.
Yes, right, exactly. We need decisive action from the government. We need huge financial support to protect our workers and our businesses. We need to support the vulnerable, and we need
to repent. Exactly right, Katie. We brought it on ourselves with all our liberal indulgences like art, cake, and healthcare. We need to act now and begin sacrificing our firstborns, or to push a beloved family pet.
Absolutely, Alan. If we can all successfully come together as a community and perform the ritual, hopefully we will appease the great ancient. Katie, could it be any worse?
Luckily, over the past few years under Advance, they've invested heavily into health, so the system can actually bear the strain.
Is it lucky that the Llama Lords have unleashed a horde of man-made monsters?
Llama Lords, os lords das lhamas.
Will you just stop for 5 fucking seconds?
Pera, eles moram juntos?
Are amassing an army amassing an army to kidnap us.
Ai, meu Deus. Ô, caralho, eu apertei o negócio de censurar palavrão 2 vezes sem querer. Ah, é verdade, não, eles estão presos juntos no hotel.
You do, Alan. You do sound like that.
And that's why no one wants to be your friend.
I've got loads of friends.
No, you haven't.
I don't think you do, Alan.
Yeah, stop lying, Alan.
I'm not lying. You are.
Oh, good one. Oh, good one.
Well, I'm telling.
Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. Some real food for thought there from two of the territory's leading minds. Any moment now, I'll be heading over to Jeremy, who is going to be bringing us an up-to-the-minute report.
Era só o Jeremy não tá com sanduba, hein?
The nation. Over to you, Jeremy.
Thank you for what I'm sure was a reasonable debate, which really contributed to the national conversation. Next, out on the streets, someone who's always doing exactly that. It's Patrick Bannon. Are you there, Patrick?
Hello, Jeremy. Yes, hello, I'm here. I'm here live. Apologies for the quality of the broadcast today. Couldn't find any cameramen or women brave enough to come and join me, so I'm out here on my own.
Right, and can you tell us what it's like out there?
Yep, I can. It's as you can see behind me, the streets are currently completely deserted. So my question, Jeremy, is just how long? I mean, could there be danger lurking just around the corner, waiting to end the fledgling career of this young, promising journalist before his full potential is even realised? Will he die, underappreciated by management, and frankly, if you ask me, very, very much underpaid?
I don't think there's any danger of that, Patrick. What's that on your jacket there?
Oh, that's actually a sponge. What I've done here is made a snuggle-proof jacket, Jeremy. The network didn't bother sending me any PPE, so I've been forced to improvise. In fact, showing the sort of resourcefulness that would make me an ideal candidate for, I don't know, for example, an anchor position starting whenever they'd like.
From your point of view, Patrick, just how safe are our streets?
Not safe at all, Jeremy, not safe at all. I'd recommend people staying inside, following government advice, and not putting themselves at any risk at all. Unless, of course, like me, it's for groundbreaking journalism reasons.
And just where are you, Patrick?
I'm in the street, on the street.
Which street?
I think I'm struggling to hear you, actually, Jeremy, there.
Which street? Which street are you on?
Oh, which street am I on? Oh, God. I'm just looking for a sign. There it is. I'm on Bannon Avenue.
Bannon Avenue?
Yep.
Bannon Avenue.
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine. Yep, I'm on Bannon Avenue on the sign, it says there.
Like Patrick Bannon?
Oh, yeah, that is like, that's strange, that's a weird sign. I don't know what's going on there.
Where are you really?
I'm on Bannon. Alright, fine, I'm not on Bannon Avenue, I'm at home, to be honest. Well, I'm in my bathroom, technically, but, you know, I couldn't face it, to be honest, mate. You know, it's terrible out there. I don't want to go outside. They're everywhere. I'm sorry for lying.
We don't expect any less of you, Patrick.
Can you hear that sound? What the hell is that?
I can, yes. I'm no expert, Patrick, but it sounds unmistakably like a tiny fist tapping on your door there.
Oh, fuck, it does. Oh, fuck, Jeremy, shit, no! Oh, bollocks.
Perhaps there's a small queue of tiny fists, each wielding a different gendered household implement, ready to bash in the heads of lying little roving reporters.
But you're lying, aren't you? Oh, shit, fucking, listen to me, you bastards! If you're out there, just piss off, you little fucking snuggle fuck! I'm too talented to die! Oh, too talented! What the fuck? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, God.
Don't worry, Patrick. I'd say you've got a few seconds before they break their way in there and finish you off. What do you see, Patrick?
Oh, meu Deus!
Thank you, Patrick, for that report, showing the nation, and more importantly, management, just where you belong. It's time for another break, but when we come back, we'll be happy to take your mind off the world for a little while, and who knows, maybe even bring you a few smiles. Join us after this. You're damn right. Yeah, I had them delivered. Yes, to Barnum Avenue.
Caralho, foi... Cara, eu vou ter que bater no bicho se ele aparecer. Meu Deus, tem um solzinho aqui. Mano, eu vou ter que ficar olhando se o bicho vai aparecer, é isso?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to. I don't have to. No, you're being a child. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. No? No, well,
Mano, eu tô jogando Five Nights at Freddy's, que porra é essa?
Well, welcome back anyway. We know isolation isn't easy, so finally tonight, we have something a bit different for you. Even though some people felt it's not our job to entertain the public with absolute nonsense, other, more important people overruled those people. So it's time to find out who will National Nightly win.
Será que ele só aparece aqui?
National Nightly lose. So, how do we play? Well, the man who knows all about playing, it's Tommy Harris. Hello, Tommy.
All right, Johnny. It's good to see ya.
And how are you finding the lockdown, Tommy?
What do you mean lockdown?
The enforced isolation of everyone in the country.
Ah, yeah. I think I heard about that, actually, yeah.
You're in bed, Tommy?
Yeah, you called during nap time, so...
Of course, that's my fault. So, why don't you tell us how the game is played?
Well, it's pretty simple, Jeremy, you sausage. I'm going to ask contestants from around the territory 3 questions about what else, yours truly. And those people are going to get a chance to win a very special prize.
And what are they playing for, Tommy?
Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Jeremy.
Oh.
Jeremy. Thank you. This.
Is that... What is that?
It's my athletic support, Jeremy.
Oh.
But I've signed it, so...
Oh, well then, what a fantastic prize.
Have we got anybody waiting to win this once-in-a-lifetime prize, Jimmy?
I believe we have Angie on the line. How do you feel about winning this man's old pants, Angie?
I've never been so excited, Jeremy. And can I just say,
I love you. Both of you.
Well, you've said it now, haven't you?
Angie, I love you. In a way. Tell us about yourself, Angie.
Well, what can I say? My name is Angie. Always has been. I'm a human woman, and my dental hygiene has been described as acceptable.
Brilliant! Right, well, shall we get this shambles on the way?
Absolutely, John. Can I get 30 seconds on the clock, please?
We haven't got a clock.
Yeah, I did ask for a clock. So,
Well, why don't you start, and I'll stop you when it inevitably becomes unbearable to watch.
I love it. All right, here we go. Time starts now. Question 1. When is my birthday?
The 13th of August at 7:19 a.m.
That is absolutely correct. Question 2. What? I said, what is my favourite colour?
Crushed praline 4.
Correct, the colour of my nipples. And finally, Angie dear, what is my star sign?
That's a trick question. You were born outside of the human understanding of the cosmos.
Unbelievable, that is correct. Stop the clock.
Wow, that really was tough to watch. How did you do, Tommy?
Well, Angie, my love, you got every single question right. Which of course means you lose and win absolutely nothing. Thanks for playing, Angie. Bye. Do we have another contestant on the line at Jelly Bean?
We do indeed. We should have Sonia Artleach. Are you there, Sonia?
Of course I am, Jamie, darling.
Thank you for being here, Sonia.
Oh, there you are, Tommy. Mwah.
Let me guess, you work in theatre, don't you?
Is it that obvious? What gave it away? Was it the glamour or poise?
It certainly wasn't your inherent sense of humility.
Tell us about yourself, Sonia.
Oh, well, if you must play this game. I am a theatrical agent. I represent the likes of Rudy Beef.
Tá bem difícil, não parece, mas tá bem difícil, chat.
Amongst others.
And how's the lockdown affected you, Sonia?
Well, they may have closed the theatres, shut the studios and boarded the cinemas, but they won't get me that easily.
How are you managing without any work?
Due to a savvy clause in all of my artist contracts, I am able to claim my 15% from their unemployment benefit.
Wow, that certainly is sharp.
Standard stuff, standard stuff.
And can I ask, where are you speaking to us from?
Well, I work from home, you know, to keep costs down.
And who's this?
Oh, well, you know, when they gave the order, I was actually mid-meeting with a client, so we've been isolated together.
No fucking way!
What the fucking fuck?
Is that Tommy Harris? I'm a huge fan. Can I just tell you how bloody brilliant you are?
Actually, Jeff, we're about to play a game, aren't we, Tommy?
We've got time, we've got time.
Well, if it's not too bold, I think I am in love with you, Mr. Harris.
No, it's not too bold. That's all right.
Ai, nossa. Pera, o que eu fiz?
She's turned off the trip switch, Alex.
During lockdown, we've been workshopping some of Jeff's ideas for much younger children.
People still let you near their children, do they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I've been developing some shows for younger children.
Well, we'd love to see it, wouldn't we, Gerbil?
Absolutely dying to.
Right, so, what do kids love?
Timely child support payments from their absent fathers.
Shallow and overproduced musical numbers?
That's right. Animals! So, I'm trying to address the things that kids need to know, but through a medium that they'll understand. Do you understand?
I think, yes. I think so, yes.
Jeff's one of my best clients, aren't you?
I am, yeah. So, the first one we've been working on is called The King of the Jungle's Mortgage Repayments. It's about a lion who's having problems with his interest rates.
I see. Does he have a broker?
He does, yes. He's a porcupine. How did you know that?
Well, your work is universal, darling. It speaks to people.
I'm going to say something to you, mate. I think you're onto something here.
Oh, the bear,
Oh, yes, right. This one is much Better. So this one tells the tale of Mr. Bear. Now, Mr. Bear is a very sad bear because all of the other bears don't think that he'll amount to much, and they tell him that his plays are lazy and derivative.
I think you're onto something there.
Now, Mr. Bear is a tragic figure. Picture this. He's at his lowest ebb. The trees are closing in. He can't even face his salmon, can he? But then he meets someone that will change his life forever.
This is fucking gripping.
That's right. He meets a wise old octopus who takes him under his wing and says, "No, Mr. Bear, don't be sad. You're not like all the other bears. You have this ambition and these dreams."
Such fucking dreams.
I think I love you, Jeff.
And what you need to do, Mr. Bear, says the octopus, probably doing an 8-armed gesture or something.
What you need to do to find happiness in this crazy old forest is you need to set yourself more realistic goals. It's called Mr. Bear Lowers His Expectations.
Wow, you really have taken yourself to new depths. And what do you want children to take away from this?
Oh, fuck shit, fuck.
What?
I said a more realistic worldview.
Are you all right, Jamboree?
It's Jeffrey. My name is Jeffrey Donington.
No, stop. How does it end? We need to know how it ends.
Well, all the animals learn a thing or two about inevitable mediocrity.
Yeah, and Mr. Bear settles down near to his parents' cave, stops trying to make his band happen, and he goes into bear telemarketing.
Becomes a bear maths teacher.
Oh, and we end... We end on a big musical number. Oh, there's dancing. It's very repetitive, so it's catchy but not too challenging. Well, if you like, I could go and get my boombox.
Yeah, I might be able to... Hang on, can we get Angie back?
Why not? The more the merrier, as they say at orgies.
Right, I'll just fill then, shall I? Coming up in a moment, it's the world premiere that nobody saw coming.
Lights!
Or wanted. At all.
Right.
I can only apologise in advance for what we're all about to endure.
You turn this shitting thing up. Well, there's all sorts of creatures down on Dangly Doodle Farm. Like wise old Mr. Octopus with way too many arms. There's Mr. Pig and Mr. Cow, they're always in good moods. But that's 'cause they don't know they'll soon be sliced up into food. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to turn into despair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your dreams go to die. Mr. Raccoon wants to go to the moon. He'll end up as a bus driver soon. Mr. Porcupine thinks he'll read the news at 9. He'll end up as a janitor who stinks of turpentine. Mr. Tiny Mouse thought he'd own a massive house, ended up in a bedsit where he can't control the louse. Mr. Horse thought he'd go into professional sports, now he's an alcoholic and he's on his 3rd divorce. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the place your life becomes an endless questionnaire. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to die. Lower your expectations. Maybe you could get a job in telecommunications. No matter how you try, you'll never reach the League of Nations. The best you'll get is middle rank in trading operations. So lower your expectations. You'll never win an Oscar, so there's no congratulations. The future that is coming will not meet specifications, and no amount of visualizations will save you from your own deterioration. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's a tramp who thought he'd be a multi-millionaire. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where self-esteem goes to die. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the disappointment that is waiting everywhere. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your schemes go to die. That's where your dreams go to die. That's where dreams go to die.
Amen, Mr. Bear. Amen. And before we say goodnight, there's just time for tonight's parable. For it did come to pass that on the road there was a wise man and a foolish man and a weird man. And there did come upon them from the local village a truth seeker named Unlikely Brian. And he did come to them with alms and someone else's arms and a question. "O wise and weird and foolish man," he said, whilst dancing the traditional jig of inquiry common in those lands at those times, "how, grant thou, can the many weights and measures of life be balanced?" And the wise man did say, "There are no riches greater than family." And the foolish man did say he'd heard a good tip for the camel race and that it was a sure thing. And the weird man did say that 2 ears was just the right number, because there was no good place to put a third that wouldn't be aesthetically upsetting. Although he did see the use for a second anus. And Unlikely Brian did fall into wonder and befuddlement at their answers, although he was also wondering if either the foolish man or the weird man had any actual value in this sort of professional consultative environment, for what he did not know was that the profound man and the practical man were both on annual leave that week, and the foolish man and the weird man were all that the agency had available. But what Unlikely Brian did not reveal was that he was asking for his friend Alex, who had enraged their spouse over a passport, treated their son Charlie like he was still a little baby, and was too miserly to even pay for their daughter's holiday. And thus did Alex's family become like our Lord, when he discovered a turd in his cradle and was forced to ask Nebuchadnezzar to leave. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. I'm Archangel Megan Wolf. Have a hateful night. Are we done? Oh my God! I thought I was gonna piss
Eu nunca
myself.
tive uma crise de ansiedade tão grande.
No, I'm joking. Right, babe, I've got to go and get my bits done. I'm seeing that guy tonight again, aren't I? Yeah, well, at the end of the day, babe, he makes my fanny flutter. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, come on then, you lot, out my house. And you, Alex. All right? I don't want you here when I'm on my date. I'm on a promise. Alex. Alex, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Acorde.
Alex, wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
In a few moments, we'll be going live to the national nightly news. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight and every night on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock, it's another episode of What's Wrong with This Picture? And tonight, a group of television executives will be trying to work out why there's a cock and bull.
Eu nunca tive uma crise de ansiedade em live, mas eu cheguei lá. A palma da minha mão tá muito suada. A minha cabeça tá quase explodindo. Um pinto e bolas. Na bochecha da... Tá escrito na tela aí. Não, tá tudo bem, era só um sonho, isso não vai mais acontecer. Tá safe. Eu não vou nem reassistir esse episódio, eu vou colocar em 16x, porque talvez tenha algum achievement de assistir todos os episódios. Então, foda-se. Nossa! Oh, vocês ficaram tensos junto comigo ou foi só eu mesmo? Vocês estavam de boa? Mano, eu não falei uma palavra durante esse episódio porque eu precisava me concentrar, mano. Nossa, eu fiquei muito tensa, eu não conseguia nem falar. Inclusive, mano, peço desculpas por ter ficado calada, mas eu tava muito tensa. Puta que pariu, eu tava muito tensa. Eu tava 1000% de concentração, mano. Eu fiquei tonta por causa da câmera. É, eu peço desculpas, inclusive. Eu tava mexendo a câmera pro lado porque eu tava com muito medo do bicho aparecer e eu não ouvi. Ele sempre fazia um sonzinho quando ele ia aparecer, mas eu tava com muito medo de simplesmente... Uma hora eu só não ouvi, tá ligado? Então eu ficava virando. Passou. Obrigada, chat, quem tá mandando um pet aí. Eu agradeço. Fico feliz que o chat tá fazendo carinho na minha cabeça. É isso. Vai dar tudo certo. Nossa, esse episódio foi foda, mano. Esse episódio foi... Nossa, esse episódio foi difícil. Quase desmaiei quando o áudio desligou. O áudio desligou por culpa minha, inclusive. Ele desligou porque eu fui bater no bicho, eu bati no negócio do áudio. Só que isso foi bem louco, na real, porque o objetivo era esse mesmo. O bicho tava spawnando perto de umas paradas, justamente pra, tipo, eu tentar bater no bicho e eu bater em alguma coisa sem querer, sabe? Ele spawnava sempre perto de umas paradas assim. Nossa, e foi um episódio muito longo. Muito longo. Minha nossa. É bom que essa parte, enquanto tá dando a reprise do episódio aí, eu posso dar uma respirada. Tá tudo bem. Mano, pra mim, tudo que teve durante esse episódio foi só pra encher linguiça. Que era o objetivo era justamente encher linguiça pra eu... Pra durar muito, tipo, pra ser difícil pra mim mesmo. Eu nem quero ver. Agora eu nem quero ver, mano. Eu nem estou mais... Mano, não quero. Eu não assisti a transmissão, eu tava muito tensa. Eu só ficava trocando a câmera conforme eu ouvia os personagens falando.